and as you can tell in the title, it's kind of a little bit of a rant that I've been wanting to do for a while, because yeah, it's definitely a huge hindrance to those of us that actually do enjoy Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Word. Or let me take that back, that enjoyed crafting pre-Heaven's Word. For those of you that don't craft or gather, you're doing great. Don't ever do it. Just waiting on a duty to pop here, waiting on the expert roulette to pop. But anyway, I figured since we're getting a little closer to the expansion, you know, we're coming up on 4.0, I think it was kind of time to take a step back and really just look at how the new crafting and gathering meta that was introduced in Heaven's Word has really affected just the whole thing. Really, there was two different systems that were introduced at the beginning of Heaven's Word, and quite honestly, I hate them. But let me explain to you why I hate them before you just immediately start flaming me. Before I started Heaven's Word, I was an Omnicrafter. Don't get me wrong, I'm still an Omnicrafter. I still have all my crafts at 60. I still have both of my all three of my gatherers. All three of my gatherers are at 60. All of my crafters are at 60. Okay? Now, before we started Heaven's Word, I was late to the party. I was late to 14. I started when it launched, and then I just quit playing because I wasn't interested in it. I was playing 11 at the time. I think I came back around 2.2, 2.3, somewhere around in there. I distinctly remember 2.4. I remember fighting Shiva and getting ready for Shiva when it come out. Anyway, so like I said, I was an Omnicrafter. And once I got into crafting, it didn't take long for me to level all my crafters to 50, which I did without Leave Quest. Well, once I saw the whole Leave Quest thing, that's when I started doing that. But I didn't... Nobody made the stuff for me. I didn't buy it from anybody. I leveled them all up myself. So, like I said, it wasn't hard to get everything to 50, and then, you know, getting them properly geared out. Now, I still have yet to get my Supper or my Lucius tools just for the achievements, but when 2.5 hit, my crafters were good to go. You know, I could craft up to 3-star and everything else, so it was no issue. But then came Heaven's Word, and yeah, just thinking back to it. But Heaven's Word come out, and you know, now we knew, okay, we have to go from 50 to 60. No big deal, right? Yeah. Not only did it take just as much time for us to go from 50 to 60 as it did to go from 1 to 50, but once you hit 60, you couldn't just really be an Omnicrafter anymore. You couldn't just be someone that said, well, I can make anything. No, now you can only be a specialist in 3 crafts. So you can only take specialize in them, and those are the ones that are going to be able to make everything they can in their recipe books. Like on Arin here, I'm a blacksmith, goldsmith, and leatherworker specialist. And like I said, what that means is, if you look at my crafting logs, right, blacksmith, you have Heaven's Word 1 and 2. This stuff down here that says specialist recipe, anything that says specialist recipe on it, and there goes my roulette finally. But anything that says specialist recipe, he can make those. On my non-specialist classes, can't do it. Right? Now that's a problem, because now I can either make more characters, I can make 3 more characters or 2 more characters, whatever, to make sure I have all my specialists covered, or now I have to get people that are actually going to be those specialists so they can give us those items. and I'm gonna try my best to continue this rant while I'm in the middle of this dungeon, and it's going to be a little difficult, but you know, I don't have to DPS, so anyway. Now don't get me wrong, at this point in the expansion, it's not a really big deal for any of us crafters, but back then, oh my god. I think that back then, when Heaven's Word released, I think I looked at it, it would take a full year to get all the blue script gear, and then the tools, and the tools were then locked away behind red scripts. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not hard to make collectibles to get the gear now, because all the gear is locked away behind the blue scripts. The red scripts are just to upgrade. But anyway, so let's just look into some of this, of how much it actually takes to get your crafting gear. Because let's look at crafting gear first, because gathering is just, oh my god, you really don't want to look into gathering right now. Okay? For a full set of crafting gear, now this is just the blue script gear, mind you, this is just the blue script stuff. This isn't upgrading through red scripts. This is just the blue script gear, just making sure you have said gear. For a full set, you're going to need 62 blue scripts. That's not bad. That's not hard to get. 62 blue scripts is easy. Okay, I can get 62 blue scripts with my eyes closed. Like right now, today, the Chimerical Felt Chalices of Healing are giving 201 scripts for max collectability. That means you can get 4 blue scripts for one item. 4. Means I only need to make 16 chalices to get all 62 scripts that I need. Now that's just for one class. Now, you know, you start dividing that out, multiplying that out over all 8 classes, and I'm not going to try to do 62 times 4 right off the top of my head, or 62 times 8 right now off the top of my head, but I think y'all understand that that's a lot. And let's face it, the stuff to make Chimerical Felt Chalices isn't really cheap. Now, like I said, that's easy to do. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. The simplest rotation will get you max collectability nowadays. But let's take a look at gathering, and this is where my real gripe with this whole new system comes in, is on gathering, because I honestly loved gathering. Fishing was an enjoyable pastime in this game for me. Not so much anymore, but it was at one point in time. Now, for gatherers, okay, you're gonna need 62 blue scripts as well. Now that's to get one set of gear on one gatherer. So let's say you want to take your fisher to, you want to get all the blue script gear on your fisher, right? Why wouldn't you? 62 blue scripts to get that. Now let's break this down. Right now, for blue script gathering purposes, Cooperite gives 86 scripts for max collectability. Morel gives 86 for max collectability as well. And Illuminati Perch gives you 57 for max collectability. That's your 3 best options for blue script gathering. I keep wanting to say skipped. But that's your 3 best options for blue script gathering. And keep in mind that the Morel and the Cooperite are locked behind time gates, meaning you can only get them at certain points in time, Eorzea time. You can only get them at a certain time during the day. So, you know, you're looking at you know, the Illuminati perch, basically, which is the only one you can really get all day. And let's really face it, fishing is all about RNG. So you got to get lucky to catch an Illuminati perch of just sufficient collectability, let alone even trying to catch one at the high collectability so you get the max amount of scripts. So let's say, okay, you took your time and you've gotten all your scripts together. You know, you've gotten all 62 scripts or whatever together to actually get all your gear, right, on one class. Well, now you've got to get something called a counterfoil. And getting collectible counterfoils isn't bad. The crafting ones anyway. All the crafting counterfoils only need like 5,900 points of collectability to become a counterfoil, right? Not bad, not bad. The easiest blue script rotation will get you a 5,900 collectability. So it's not difficult to do, right? But your gathering counterfoils are seriously the problem. The gathering counterfoils are just as hard as getting your blue scripts together for gathering. You're looking at, let's see, did I put them down? No, I didn't put them down. But feel free to go look. I know right now that Thunderbolt Eel, I think, needs like 830 something collectability to be considered a counterfoil for your fishing gear, and you need one counterfoil for each piece of gear. So for head, that's what, 5 pieces of gear? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces of gear. Well, no, five, because your belt's considered an accessory. I'm sorry. That's 5 counterfoils you need just for your left side. Your right side takes a different counterfoil. Let's catch up here. That's 5 counterfoils you're going to need. So that's 5 Thunderbolt Eels you're going to need to catch at 836 collectability. And this tank is going to try to die here, and this is not cool, boo-boo. This is not cool. Nope. Nope. You're not dying on me. Woo, yeah, we saved that one, didn't we? Anyway. Yeah, that was a bit of a nerve-wracker there. But you're going to need to catch those 5 Thunderbolt Eel, and once again, RNGesus is going to get in your way. I think yesterday I tried to catch a few. I caught 6, but they were all at like 600 and something collectability, which really wasn't what I needed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to slightly pay a little bit of attention while I'm doing this. I really felt like I shouldn't have tried to do this in the middle of a dungeon, but nah. You know, I like a little bit of a challenge. So, now you understand my gripe about the blue script system. But what about the red scripts, though? You know, how bad are red scripts really? Well, let's take a look at red scripts, though. Red scripts in crafting and gathering are just like your weekly tomestones in your battle classes. They act like the scripture tomestones now, you know, where you can only cap them out at 450, you know, and whatnot. So you've got to really be on point to make sure you cap these every week, right? So let's look at a full set of crafting gear first with the red scripts, okay? Because you're gonna want to upgrade them to the 400 and or the eye level 200 gear, right? That's like the highest gear you can get right now on your crafters. It's like your 200 gear. So, all right, let me just break this. I'm gonna break this down for you first. Let's break this down first. You're gonna want to cap out at 450 per week. And you're going to be buying goblin cups to upgrade your crafting gear. You're going to need 13 for the main hand, 13 for the offhand, 5 for the head, 9 for the body, 5 for the hands, 4 for the legs and feet, 3 for the belt, 3 for the earring, 3 for the necklace, 3 for the bracelet, and 2, or might as well say 4 for both rings, right? So you're going to need a total of 69 cups altogether. You're going to need 69 cups altogether just to upgrade one crafting class. Stretched out over all 8. That's 552 cups. Now take that 552 cups and divide that out. Divide that out by 9 cups per week, because that's what the 450 red scripts will get you. It will get you 9 cups a week. That's 62 weeks, people, to get all classes upgraded. And yeah, you can change that out a little bit, because let's face it, the high mithrite offhands are the best thing you can get right now for your offhands. This tank is going to really make me kill him. I hate when tanks want to do this. See, dude, I hate when tanks want to do that. I really do. I hate when tanks want to do that. Yeah, it's too much when he's not popping a frickin' when he's not popping any defensive cooldowns. That's another rant for another day. Actually, I might do that after this one. Tank. So when I see tanks messing up, it aggravates me. Like, he could have seriously popped Shadow Wall right there and we'd have been alright. Anyway. So, like I said, that's 62 weeks worth of capping out your red scripts for crafting to upgrade all 8 classes. That's if you're that deep into crafting and you want to be an Omni crafter and you want to get everything fully upgraded, right? That's fine. 62 weeks, okay? Yoshida said way back then, time for power, okay? Time equals power. We learned that through the animal weapons and everything, so... No, we didn't get the Black Mage. But... he really wants to pull big, doesn't he? Now, like I said, that's just the crafting classes. So let's go on to the gathering gear. Trust me, this is the stuff that will give you nightmares. He is determined to pull big. Look at this. Why did it not summon Eos just then? For the love of God, tell me why didn't it summon Eos? Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna have to soak the hell out of this tank right now, guys. I'm slightly gonna have to pay some more attention here, but we're getting it under control. So anyway, what about the gathering gear, right? What about the gathering gear? So let's break this down again. The main hand. All right, first off, you're gonna be getting dice this time, not cups. And red script gathering is the same as, the other one. It's gonna take 450k. You're gonna cap out at 450 per week. You're going to need 15 dice for the main hand and the offhand, so that's 30 dice already. You're going to need 6 for the head, 9 for the body, 4 for the hands, 3 for the legs and feet, 3 for the belt, earring, necklace, and bracelet, and 4 for both of the rings, or 2 apiece for the rings, excuse me. So 4 for the rings. Now, that's 71 dice that you're going to need to upgrade a full set of gathering gear. To cap all 3, you're going to need 213 dice. That's roughly 23 weeks of capping red scripts to get all 3 upgraded. Now you look out a little bit with the gatherers because Fisher doesn't have an offhand, and there's only 3 of them. Altogether, you're going to need 10,650 total red scripts of gathering. Remember, gathering is all about RNG, or at least the fishing aspect of it is. The mining and the botany, you can kind of manipulate that a little bit. But there's better options out there, don't get me wrong. You can certainly go ahead and get yourself a full set of ironworks gear and spend the money pentamilding it. And you will spend a lot of money trying to pentamild the ironworks set. You can go ahead and get yourself the high mithrite stuff. But I can tell you this, the high mithrite main hands don't compare to the fully upgraded fully upgraded blue script main hands. Okay? So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys. It's worth it in sort of a kind of a way. You know, if you're deep into it, I would suggest you go ahead and try to get your fully upgraded gear. But I want you guys to also remember that you're doing this on top of capping your scripture tomestones for the week. You know, you got to cap your scripture for your battle classes. I already have a ring of healing. I wish it would drop the earrings. I need to get rid of those earrings. But you're doing this on top of capping your scripture for your battle classes. So you're doing this on top of whatever you're doing to cap your scriptures. Running your dailies, doing deeps if you need to do deeps, or Palace of the Dead, whatever you want to call it. You're doing this on top of possibly working on your animal, which I'm doing. I'm still working on my animal. So I'm still trying to get lore up to get, you know, my animal weapon together. You know, plus, like I said, I'm trying to do my crafting scripts just for that, so I can trade them in for crystal sands for the animal weapon, which is pretty easy to do. Your Alexander clears for the week. You know, you're making sure that you're working on clearing all 4 pieces of Alexander per week, so you can get gear from that probably. Hell, you might even be doing Weeping City and Void Art runs still, just to upgrade lore gear if you've got that, you know, if that's what you're doing. Which I'm doing that for my scholar right here. You know? And plus, just life in general, you know? Like, what do you have going on in just your life? Like I said, needless to say, you're going to be dedicating a lot of your time. A lot of your time to crafting in this game. And that's just to be geared up and ready to go. And then let's face it, it's going to be probably just in time for 4.0 to come out. Just in time for 4.0 to come out. And guess what's going to happen when 4.0 comes out? The same thing that happened when 3.0 came out. All that lovely gear that we had, all that gear that we worked for so hard for back in 2.0 and the 2.x series, got replaced. that Dreadworm gear that everybody rated Final Coil for so hard. Gone. Gone by like what, level 54? I think it was what, 50 something that got replaced? 54, 55, somewhere around in there we finally replaced all that gear. But you know, if it's worth it to you, it's worth it. To me, I think it's just a bunch of bull. That it's going to take us that long to replace that one, you know, to replace all that good gear that we had. That we're going to spend all this time struggling to get this gear just to have it all replaced. But, you know. Anyway, guys, I tried to stretch this out about as long as I could. Feel free to stick around to the end of the fight. You know, we've all done this fight before. Great Gubal Hard is nothing difficult. So, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. Leave me a like. Leave me some comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the whole blue script and red script crafting and gathering meta and how it's changed. Oh, wait, no, you know something? I really didn't even get to harp on the, I really didn't even get to harp on the whole specialist, but that's... Specialist is nothing special anymore, let's face it. Not only did they give us a bunch of useless abilities that none of us use from our specialists, but they locked certain recipes behind specialist gates, so... But it is what it is, you know. That's just gonna be a whole nother rant within itself, because let's face it, specialist is just as much bull as the blue script and red script stuff is. You know, not only are you locking specific, you know, items behind being able to do it just because it's a specialist, but you know, it is what it is, guys. Anyway, this has been Mikey J. We're done with the Great Gubal Library. And hey, I appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking out the video. Let me know what you think about it. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about the whole blue script, red script crafting and gathering meta. And even let me know what you think about the whole specialist stuff. So, but anyway, guys, this has been Mikey J. Thanks for stopping by and watching.